Welcome. Today we're exploring the top 4 rare United States of America Monticello 5-cent coins, each valued for different conditions, key mint marks, and special varieties that collectors are always searching for. From early Jefferson nickels and low mintage issues to wartime silver compositions and high-grade uncirculated examples, these Monticello 5-cent coins can sometimes be worth far more than their face value. The overall condition of the coin, whether it is heavily circulated, lightly worn, uncirculated, or preserved in pristine mint state, can greatly influence its collector value. Mint marks such as P, D, and S, along with special wartime large mint mark varieties and notable mint errors, play an important role in determining rarity and demand among collectors. Let's get started. First up today, we are exploring a classic American coin, the famous Jefferson nickel from the year 1963 with the D mint mark, a coin that has spent many years in circulation before finding its way into the hands of collectors. For generations, the Jefferson nickel has been one of the most familiar coins in the United States. Introduced in 1938, this design replaced the earlier Buffalo nickel and quickly became a permanent part of everyday American commerce. The design of this coin honors one of the most influential leaders in early American history, Thomas Jefferson. Jefferson was not only a president but also the principal author of the Declaration of Independence and a strong supporter of democracy and liberty. When you look at the front of the 1963 nickel, you will see the detailed profile of Thomas Jefferson facing to the left. The portrait captures a calm and thoughtful expression that reflects Jefferson's intellectual legacy. Along the left side of the coin appears the word liberty, followed by the year 1963. This simple design element marks the moment in history when this particular coin was minted and released into circulation. Just beside the date sits a small letter D, which tells collectors that the coin was produced at the historic Denver Mint. The Denver Mint has produced billions of American coins over the decades, and the D Mint mark has become a familiar sight for collectors who study mint locations. Above Jefferson's portrait, along the upper rim of the coin, appears the national motto "In God We Trust," a phrase that has appeared on United States coins for many years. Turning the coin over reveals the elegant building known as Monticello, which serves as the reverse design of the Jefferson nickel. Monticello was the home designed and owned by Thomas Jefferson himself, and its image on the coin connects the design directly to the life and achievements of the former president. The building appears carefully engraved with steps, columns, and a central dome that reflects Jefferson's interest in architecture and classical design. Above the building appears the word Monticello, while below it the words 5 cents and United States of America are clearly displayed. Also included on the reverse side is the Latin motto E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one, a phrase that symbolizes the unity of the states within the nation. The year 1963 sits during an interesting time in American history, a period of economic growth and social change in the United States. Nickels from this time circulated widely through stores, vending machines, buses, and everyday purchases across the country. Because these coins were used so frequently, many of them today show signs of circulation such as worn surfaces and softened details. The example we are discussing today is described as being in circulated condition, meaning it spent many years moving through everyday transactions before being saved. A circulated nickel may display small scratches, smooth areas on the portrait, and slightly faded details on the building of Monticello. Jefferson's hairlines may appear softer than on a newly minted coin, and the steps of Monticello may show signs of wear from years of handling. Despite this wear, circulated coins still carry historical charm because they represent real pieces of the past that people once used daily. Every small mark on the coin's surface tells a story of movement, trade, and everyday life many decades ago. Collectors often enjoy studying circulated coins because they provide a connection to the human history behind currency. Imagine how many times this nickel may have been exchanged between customers and shopkeepers across the country. It may have been used to buy a newspaper, pay for a snack, or ride a bus during the early 1960s. Over time, coins like this slowly disappeared from circulation as people began saving older pieces for their collections. Today, collectors often search through old jars of coins, bankrolls, and inherited collections hoping to rediscover classic nickels like this one. The Jefferson Nickel series remains popular because it combines historical design, presidential heritage, and the possibility of rare variations. Some coins from this series have become highly desirable due to minting errors, unusual strikes, or exceptional preservation. Because of this possibility, collectors carefully inspect each coin, paying close attention to the mint mark, lettering, and fine details. Even a coin that appears common at first glance may hold hidden significance when examined closely. The 1963 Jefferson nickel with the D mint mark continues to attract attention from collectors who appreciate its connection to American history. Holding such a coin is like holding a small artifact from the early 1960s, a reminder of everyday commerce during that era. From pocket change to collectible treasure, coins like this continue to inspire curiosity among people who love history and discovery. And in extremely rare circumstances, when a remarkable example of this coin with special characteristics appears and collectors compete to own it, a single coin has been known to reach an incredible value of $45,000. Next up, the classic Jefferson nickel from the year 1947 without a mint mark, a coin showing a beautiful surface preserved in very fine condition. The Jefferson nickel series has been an important part of American coinage since it was first introduced in 1938. Replacing the buffalo nickel design, this coin quickly became one of the most recognizable coins used in everyday American commerce. The coin was created to honor one of the most influential leaders in American history, Thomas Jefferson. Jefferson was not only the third president of the nation, but also the principal author of the Declaration of Independence. When you look at the front of the 1947 nickel, you will see the elegant portrait of Thomas Jefferson facing to the left. The portrait reflects the calm and thoughtful character of a man who helped shape the foundation of the United States. Above Jefferson's portrait appears the national motto "In God We Trust," a phrase that has appeared on American coins for generations and continues to symbolize faith and national identity. Along the left side of the coin, the word Liberty is engraved, followed by the date 1947, marking the year this coin was struck. One important detail collectors always examine is the mint mark beneath the date. On this particular coin, there is no mint mark present, which means it was produced at the historic Philadelphia Mint. The Philadelphia Mint is the oldest mint in the United States and has produced countless coins that circulated throughout the country for more than 2 centuries. Turning the coin over reveals the famous building known as Monticello, which serves as the reverse design of the Jefferson nickel. Monticello was Jefferson's personal home and architectural masterpiece, reflecting his deep interest in classical architecture and design. On the reverse side of the coin, the image of Monticello stands proudly at the center, displaying its steps, columns, and recognizable dome. Above the building appears the word Monticello, clearly identifying the historic estate depicted on the coin. Below the building, the denomination 5 cents is engraved, followed by the words United States of America. Also included on the reverse is the Latin motto E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one, a phrase that reflects the unity of the states that form the nation. The year 1947 came shortly after the end of the Second World War, a time when the United States was entering a new period of rebuilding and economic growth. Coins produced during this era circulated widely as the nation returned to peacetime commerce and daily life resumed across cities and towns. The nickel we are discussing today is described as being in very fine condition, which is a grade collectors use to describe coins that still retain much of their original detail despite having been in circulation. In very fine condition, the major design features remain visible and attractive. Jefferson's hair details can still be seen clearly, and the structure of Monticello on the reverse remains well defined. Although the coin may show light wear from circulation, its overall appearance still reflects the craftsmanship of the original minting process. Coins in this condition often appeal to collectors because they show both historical usage and strong visual detail. Over time, coins develop subtle changes in color as the metal reacts with air and handling. A nickel from 1947 may display soft gray tones or gentle surface aging that adds to its vintage character. For collectors, these natural changes help confirm that the coin has aged naturally over many decades. Many people today still discover old nickels like this one in inherited coin collections, forgotten drawers, or jars filled with spare change. The excitement of coin collecting lies in the possibility that a small and ordinary-looking coin might actually hold significant historical interest. Collectors often examine each coin carefully, looking for mint marks, rare variations, or unusual details that might increase its importance. The Jefferson nickel series has produced several interesting varieties over the decades, which encourages collectors to search closely through every coin they encounter. Even a coin that appears common at first glance may contain subtle differences that make it desirable among collectors. Holding a nickel from 1947 is like holding a small artifact from the years immediately following the Second World War. It represents an era of change, recovery, and new beginnings in American history. Each mark on the surface reflects the many transactions and moments of everyday life the coin may have witnessed. From small purchases in neighborhood stores to pockets filled with spare change, this coin traveled through countless hands over the years. Today it stands as a reminder that even the smallest objects can carry remarkable stories from the past. And in extraordinary cases, when a particularly rare example with exceptional characteristics appears in the collector market, a coin like this has been known to reach a value of $45,000. Next up, the well-known Jefferson nickel from the year 1988 with a D mint mark, a coin preserved in very fine condition and admired by collectors for its historical design and enduring legacy. The Jefferson nickel series first appeared in 1938 and quickly replaced the earlier Buffalo nickel design. Since then, the coin has remained one of the longest-running designs in American currency and has been used in everyday transactions for generations. This coin honors the legacy of Thomas Jefferson, a key figure in American history who played a vital role in shaping the young nation. Jefferson was the principal author of the Declaration of Independence and later served as the third President of the United States. When examining the front of the 1988 nickel, the first feature you will notice is the portrait of Thomas Jefferson facing toward the left side of the coin. His calm expression and carefully sculpted features reflect the artistry involved in American coin design. Above Jefferson's portrait appears the national motto "In God We Trust," a phrase that has appeared on United States coins for many years and reflects the nation's cultural heritage. Along the left side of the coin, the word Liberty is engraved clearly, followed by the date 1988, marking the year the coin was struck. Just beside the date is a small but important detail that collectors always look for: the mint mark. On this coin, the letter D appears, indicating that it was produced at the historic Denver Mint. The Denver Mint has been responsible for producing billions of American coins over the decades, and its distinctive D mint mark has become familiar to collectors across the world. Turning the coin over reveals the elegant architectural image of Monticello, the famous home designed and owned by Thomas Jefferson himself. Monticello stands proudly in the center of the coin's reverse design, showing its classical dome, columns, and broad staircase. Above the building appears the word Monticello, clearly identifying the historic structure depicted on the coin. Below the image, the denomination 5 cents is engraved, followed by the words United States of America along the lower edge of the coin. Also included in the design is the Latin motto E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one, representing the unity of the states that form the nation. The year 1988 belongs to a modern period of American coinage, yet coins from this time still carry the classic design that collectors appreciate. During this time, millions of nickels were produced and circulated through everyday commerce in stores, restaurants, and vending machines across the country. The example we are discussing today is described as being in very fine condition, which is a grade collectors use to describe coins that retain strong design details despite having been used in circulation. In very fine condition, Jefferson's hair details remain visible, and the architectural features of Monticello can still be clearly identified. Although the coin may show slight wear on the highest points of the design, the overall appearance remains attractive and historically interesting. Over time, nickel coins naturally develop a soft gray or silvery tone as they age and interact with air and handling. This gentle aging process adds character to the coin and confirms its authenticity as a piece that has survived decades of circulation. Collectors often enjoy studying coins like this because they combine history, art, and economics within a single object. Each small mark on the surface of the coin reflects a moment in its journey through everyday life. Imagine how many times this nickel may have been exchanged between people while purchasing small items or receiving change. From busy city stores to quiet neighborhood shops, coins like this quietly participated in thousands of ordinary transactions. Today, many collectors search through coin jars and bankrolls hoping to rediscover classic nickels from earlier decades. The Jefferson nickel series remains popular because of its connection to American history and the possibility of rare varieties appearing among ordinary coins. Sometimes collectors discover unusual minting characteristics, striking errors, or exceptional preservation that can dramatically increase a coin's value. Because of this possibility, experienced collectors examine every detail carefully, including the mint mark, the lettering, and the fine lines of the design. Even a coin that appears common at first glance can surprise collectors when studied more closely. The 1988 Jefferson nickel with the D mint mark remains a fascinating piece of American coinage history. Holding such a coin allows collectors to connect with a time when these nickels circulated through everyday American life. From simple pocket change to collectible treasure, Coins like this continue to inspire curiosity among collectors around the world. They remind us that history is not only found in books or museums, but also in the small objects that quietly pass through our hands. For coin enthusiasts, every nickel offers the possibility of discovery and the thrill of uncovering something valuable hidden within ordinary change. And in extraordinary cases, when a particularly rare and desirable example appears in the collector market, a coin like this has been known to reach an incredible value of $45,000. Next up, the famous Jefferson nickel from the year 1958 with the D mint mark, preserved in excellent condition and admired by collectors who appreciate the history hidden in everyday coins. For generations, the Jefferson nickel has been a familiar sight in American pockets and purses. Introduced in 1938, the coin replaced the Buffalo nickel and quickly became one of the most recognizable coins in circulation across the United States. The design of this coin honors the legacy of Thomas Jefferson, one of the most important figures in early American history and the principal author of the Declaration of Independence. When examining the front of the 1958 nickel, the first detail that captures attention is the elegant portrait of Thomas Jefferson facing to the left. His calm expression reflects the thoughtful leadership that helped shape the early direction of the United States. Above Jefferson's portrait appears the national motto "In God We Trust," a phrase that has appeared on American coins for generations and represents a long-standing national tradition. Along the left side of the coin, the word Liberty is engraved, followed by the date 1958, marking the year this coin was produced and released into circulation. Just beside the date appears the small letter D, which is the mint mark indicating that the coin was produced at the historic Denver Mint. The Denver Mint has played a major role in producing coins for the nation, striking billions of coins that entered circulation throughout the United States. Turning the coin over reveals the famous building known as Monticello, which appears on the reverse side of every Jefferson nickel. Monticello was the personal home of Thomas Jefferson and stands today as one of the most important historic homes in American history. The building is carefully engraved at the center of the coin, showing its recognizable dome, columns, and symmetrical design. Above the building appears the word Monticello, clearly identifying the historic structure represented on the coin. Below the building, the denomination 5 cents is displayed, followed by the words United States of America along the lower edge of the coin. Also included in the design is the Latin motto E pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one, a phrase symbolizing the unity of the states within the nation. The year 1958 came during a time when the United States was experiencing economic growth and cultural change. Coins from this era circulated widely in stores, markets, vending machines, and daily purchases across the country. The example we are discussing today is described as being in excellent condition, which means the coin has been preserved with strong detail and minimal signs of wear. In excellent condition, Jefferson's hair details remain sharp and clearly visible, and the architectural features of Monticello on the reverse side appear well defined. Although the coin may show very light signs of handling, its overall appearance still reflects the quality of the original minting process. Coins in this type of condition are often especially attractive to collectors because they combine age with strong visual detail. Over the decades, nickel coins naturally develop subtle surface tones as they react with air and handling. This gentle aging can create soft gray shades that give older coins a distinctive vintage character. Collectors often enjoy examining these details because they reveal the natural life history of the coin. Imagine how many different people may have held this nickel during the late 1950s and early 1960s. It may have been used to buy a newspaper at a street stand, pay for candy at a neighborhood store, or receive change from a vending machine. Each small mark on the coin's surface reflects the countless transactions it experienced during its journey through everyday life. Over time, many coins like this were saved by collectors or placed into jars and containers where they remained untouched for years. Today, coin enthusiasts often search through old collections and coin rolls hoping to rediscover historic nickels from earlier decades. The Jefferson nickel series remains especially popular because it combines presidential history with classic American design. Collectors also know that certain nickels may contain rare minting variations, unusual strikes, or other characteristics that make them highly desirable. Because of this possibility, careful collectors inspect every coin closely, paying attention to the mint mark, the lettering, and the details of the design. Even a coin that appears ordinary at first glance can sometimes turn out to be a remarkable discovery. The 1958 Jefferson nickel with the D mint mark continues to capture the interest of collectors who appreciate its place in American coinage history. Holding such a coin is like holding a small piece of the past, a reminder of everyday life during the late 1950s. From simple pocket change to treasured collectible, coins like this inspire curiosity and excitement among collectors around the world. They remind us that history often hides within the smallest objects, waiting to be rediscovered by those who take the time to look closely. And in extraordinary cases, when an exceptional example of this coin appears with rare characteristics and strong collector demand, a single coin like this has been known to reach a value of $45,000.